I never thought that I would experience my 18th birthday. I never thought I would be older than 17. I always thought I would be in an accident. I would die, I would just not be here anymore. And that is the reason why I never planned anything. I never had any plans to become anything or do anything. Because I thought that I wouldn't be here. I thought I would never live until then. I wouldn't be alive. I always thought that I would outlive other people. No, I always thought that other people would outlive me. I always thought that even older people would outlive me, you know. That I would go before them. That I would not be here for their funeral. But they would be here for my funeral. That's what I always thought, you know. I always thought about who would be in my funeral. That's the reason why I thought I would never find a job, you know. I never had any academic aspirations, you know. I never knew what to say when other people were saying their, you know, the career they wanted or talking about their job, their dream job. I never knew what to say. I just never knew what to say. Because I didn't think I would experience that day. I genuinely didn't think that. It was not out of laziness, because I'm such a lazy person and I feel like everything has to be, you know, I'm entitled to working, or I'm too good to work, or something, you know. I'm definitely not. I know that. I'm definitely not. I just never saw myself in this life anymore, you know. And it's so hard to describe, but I came across a post on Instagram, and many people were just talking about their experiences. They were saying the same, you know. They were like, I never thought that I would make it past my 18th birthday. I never thought I would live to 22, 21, 23. It doesn't matter. They were like, no, I thought life would be over before I turned 18. I would never be here for I never thought that I would be here for all of these horrible things, for all these terrible things that were yet to come, you know? And now I've experienced my greatest fears. I've experienced loss. I failed, you know. I failed in so many things I did. I just failed. I just fell flat on my face. So many things didn't work out, and sometimes, you know, I'm just asking myself, you know, like, would it have been better if I didn't make it past 18? Would that have been better? Because back then, you know, life, it was still hard, you know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had those thoughts. But would I have maybe been able to just leave it as it is, you know? It's kind of it's better to burn out than to fade away. And I feel like I'm fading away right now, you know. I feel like a burnout, like a big, just, I don't know, just a big end, just something that would make it all end. Would have been better than slowly fading away. Kurt Cobain's not wrong about that, or was it? Neil Young, I think Neil Young sang about that, I don't know. But Kurt Cobain actually, yeah, you know, probably know the story. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. And I'm totally overwhelmed with my life, with everything. I try to make the best out of it. I try to think positive, but sometimes it's just so hard, you know. I never thought that people would feel the same way. I never thought that anybody would feel the way I did, you know. It was always like, man, I'm so weird, and you know, nobody probably, like, everybody's excited to turn 18, everybody's excited to become an adult, to live life, you know, to live their lives. Everybody's excited, but I was always so terrified. I was so terrified of it. I never wanted it, and I'm still terrified. I live in fear all all day long, and I'm laughing about it because I feel like it's so normal. It's become so normal. And it feels like no matter what I try, no matter what I do, it is never enough. It's never enough, and I always fall on my face again. I always fail everything I do. That's just what what it feels like. Being in your 20s, being an adult. I'm 23 right now. And I've seen some videos where people will like, it doesn't matter if you fail for the next 10 years. You will still have a great life eventually. But just thinking about living the life I'm living right now for the next 10 years, living in that suffering, in that pain, in that constant nothingness, nothingness, really. Failing again, getting up again, failing again. It is so exhausting. It is so hard. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people have the strength to get up again, to try again and again. I try to do it, but I feel like I'm completely, totally losing myself doing that. I feel like I'm just overwhelmed with everything. So yeah, how is your life? To other people that thought they wouldn't make it past 18, how do you manage life? What do you do? What do you do?